So in today's video, we're checking out 15 military weapons you won't believe exist. This video was done by Factanonymous. I can't even say that. I cannot even say that. But they're almost at 800,000 subscribers. So if you want to go over there and support them, that would be amazing. So I'm looking forward to watching this video with you today. Let's check it out.
Number 15, Phaser. The personnel halting and stimulation response rifle was created as a non-lethal weapon for soldiers and law enforcement officials for hostile situations. In the past, blinding laser weapons have been tested, but were banned under the 1995 UN Protocol on Blinding Laser Weapons, which the United States acceded to on 21 January 2009. Even though the Phaser rifle has a temporary blinding effect and low-intensity laser, it's not prohibited under this regulation. It also uses a 2-wavelength laser. This rifle fires lasers into the enemy's eyes and blinds them temporarily.
Wow.
The weapon uses a rangefinder to make sure the lasers aren't too intense. It renders people extremely disoriented at inopportune moments. Number 14, Smart Bullet.
The D-shaped bullet contains a microsensor that detects acceleration and deceleration.
The Smart Bullet was designed to have ultimate control. It can turn, speed up, slow down, and even send data back to the user.
What?
The bullet is 4 inches long and has small fins, making it look like a dart. The shooter operates it by shining a laser at its target, and the bullet will follow the target without being deterred by strong winds. One type of Smart Bullet is a projectile that can change its course during flight. One use of this would be to enable soldiers to stay behind protective cover and shoot around corners. Another implementation uses a spoiler and a micro gyro to control the bullet. Isn't that scary?
That's insane.
Number 13, the Dora Cannon. Developed by Nazis during World War II, the Gustav Dora Cannon, or merely the Dora Cannon, weighed 2.7 million pounds and was considered a super weapon.
Dude, what the?
The cannon could fire shells up to 14,000 pounds and had a range of 90 miles. It was the world's most massive gun, heavy and complicated.
What the heck?
The world's largest Dora ensemble is in the Military History Museum in the Bundeswehr in Dresden. Number 12, Vomit Gun.
Ew!
Non-lethal weapon that induces hallucinations and vomiting among enemy combatants has been fitted to 2 Russian warships.
Even though it may sound ridiculous, the Vomit Gun was very, very real. The Navy supported its development, and it was designed to be a non-lethal weapon. The Vomit Gun can use radio waves to penetrate walls, and as the waves reach the victims will feel dizzy and may get the urge to vomit. Though the military eventually abandoned the project, 2 other people were able to make a vomit gun out of spare computer parts successfully.
That's insane.
Number 11, the XM-25 Smart Grenade Launcher. Nicknamed by the Afghan soldiers as the Punisher, the XM-25 Smart Grenade Launcher was designed in 2010 for the United States troops in Afghanistan. It's gas-operated and semi-automatic, and it features a ballistic computer, environmental sensors, and a digital compass. It can fire 25mm shells up to 2,300 feet, and soldiers can eerily program the shells to explode at any time.
Whoa.
Number 10, the Corner Shot. The Corner Shot is a weapon explicitly designed so that the enemy will never see your eyes.
Oh, yeah, that's
a miniature
smart.
camera and LCD screen
That's
sub
really
in for the
smart.
gunner's eyes as the front half of the rifle bends around corners to shoot targets without the operator having to come into the open. It works by mounting a semi-automatic pistol to the hinged front half with remote linkage to the trigger at the rear and can swivel through a 120-degree range.
I've never seen one of those before.
Number 9, the Trophy Active Defense System. On their own, tanks are frightening
I've
machines.
learned about this before.
So what could make these heavily armored vehicles any more unstoppable? How about an invisible force field? Okay, the Trophy Active Defense System isn't literally a force field, but it's as close as any countermeasure has yet come. The ADS can detect rocket-propelled grenades and other low-tech munitions in time to target and return pinpointed fire, destroying the munitions in midair. The ADS is capable of tracking multiple targets in nearly any direction, rendering tanks with the equipment roughly bulletproof. Number 8, Metal Storm. Metal Storm is an Australian company that's been developing a line of weapons that use stacked projectiles. Stacked projectile weapons are different from traditional guns as they have no moving parts. Instead of loading a bullet into a chamber and having a mechanism such as a hammer initiate its firing, the metal storm weapons use electronics to control the firing sequence. Bullets are tightly lined up within the gun. They're packed between an explosive fuel, and the result of which is a weapon that can fire at a much higher rate than a traditional automatic.
Oh.
One bullet enters the barrel before the last is left, which creates a torrent of ammunition with firepower, just like a high-powered comic book-style laser. Number 7.
That's interesting.
Cyborg Moths. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, has been working to develop cyborg spy moths. DARPA, the research arm of the Department of Defense, has already successfully implanted chips in cockroaches and rats, allowing humans to drive the animals with joysticks. In the case of moths, the chip will be inserted at the pupal stage so that the animal grows around it and develops a reliable tissue-machine interface. The spy moth will then be released at the front lines and remotely piloted into enemy territory, potentially beaming back video and audio feeds along the way. Number 6. The Navy's
Did you know
railgun.
about that? What the
The
heck?
Navy is exploring the
That's
possibilities
crazy.
of trading the explosive energy of conventional warheads for kinetic energy using simple projectiles. It may sound like a step backward, but when you see the prototype railgun in action, firing a 7-pound shell at 7 times the speed of sound, you start to understand the power generated by tremendous acceleration. With the finished product, a 5-meter target can be hit from 200 nautical miles away. Number 5. Active Denial System. The United States Air Force has borrowed a page out of the Marines naming convention's book with a device more commonly known as the heat ray. The heat ray looks like a nondescript satellite dish mounted on the back of a military-grade news truck, but instead of gathering and focused radio waves coming in, the weapon focuses millimeter waves, similar to microwaves but shorter, and sends them out. The effect of these waves against human skin produces a sensation of intense burning, in which people are reportedly
serious?
only able to stand for a few seconds. The military
so
claims the
insane.
waves penetrate the skin by only 1/64th of an inch and cause no lasting damage. However, the system is still in the early stages and is yet unproven in the field.
Unbelievable.
Number 4. Airborne Laser. The Air Force is on its way to having a modified 747 ready as early as 2009 to shoot down missiles from the sky with, you guessed it, a massive laser. Known as the Airborne Laser, the craft will house a multi-megawatt chemical oxygen iodine laser capable of hitting a target many hundreds of miles away. At its core,
That's a
it's the
game
same
changer.
basic technology as found in a drugstore laser pointer, only 1 billion times more powerful. While the
Wow.
aircraft was scheduled for its first live target test in 2009, the laser and the airplane have yet to be tested together. Number 3. Pigeon Projected Missiles. Another project called
Oh, we
Project
learned about
Pigeon
this.
was an effort to create a pigeon-guided bomb.
I'll link
The
it up,
birds
yeah.
were trained using B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning to home in on a target shown on a screen and then peck at it when they found it.
So
The project was
interesting.
scrapped in 1944 and then revived in 1948
Fascinating.
under the name Project Orcon. Eventually, newer electronic guidance systems proved to be more valuable. An exhibit at the American History Museum in Washington, D.C. details the history of this avian instrument of war. Number 2. The Pentagon's laser-induced plasma effect weapon. The Pentagon is working on a weapon that uses lasers and plasma to transmit sound files, even human speech, directly to individual people at great distances. The lasers could be beamed down from military planes or other vehicles to issue instructions to disperse crowds of protesters or otherwise disgruntled people in the area. Number 1. The Air Force's
How?
Counter-Unmanned Aircraft
How?
System Tech. The laser weapon, which can be mounted onto the back of a vehicle, is designed to help the Air Force take down hostile drones. The laser itself can fire dozens of shots per charge, according to Raytheon, but the Air Force could also hook it up to a generator to deliver a nearly infinite number of shots, the contractor said.
Holy.
We hope you enjoyed our list of the 15 scariest
That was
military
so interesting,
weapons.
wasn't it?
Which of these weapons was scarier to you?
Yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching with me. The scariest for me was actually a lot of them. A lot of the like wavelength ones absolutely blow my mind. Like it's an invisible weapon kind of thing. you know, how people get burnt, like they feel a sensation of burn from like an invisible laser. And also you can transmit sounds through the laser. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I feel like I guess lasers are kind of the next big thing maybe. I don't know, there seem to be a lot of laser based weapons here. The vomiting one from the wavelength weapon, I don't really know what it's called, but I guess like the wavelength weapon that induces vomiting, that is probably the craziest one here. It really is an invisible weapon, because you could be in war, I don't know, in a building maybe, and then everyone suddenly starts vomiting. I don't know if that's how it works, but that would be absolutely terrifying. And you wouldn't know where to attack, like who's doing this, because it's invisible. Oh my gosh, it would just be awful. Wow, but I think it got scratched, right? I think that's what it said. But yeah, those kind of weapons definitely scare me the most, because it's along the lines of things that I just don't understand. Some of these weapons you can physically see it and you can see it working. Do you know what I mean? But these wavelength ones just really scare me. I think like that's scary to me for sure. That was really interesting. A good list of things that I've never learned before. I was so excited to see the pigeon guided weapon on here, because we literally just watched that. It was so interesting. I really recommend going to check it out. Super fascinating, seriously. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching with me today. And by the way, if you didn't know, I do have a Twitch channel where I go live every single week, so if you want to come join me over there, I will link it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.